Court documents from NMP and Melena's divorce have continued to make the rounds online, with creators and commentators breaking down exactly how the couple's assets were divided following the final divorce decree. One of the latest videos comes from Henry Resilient, who published the 5th installment of his ongoing series, analysing the public court records. Throughout the video, he walks through the final decree, explaining which assets each party received, including property, vehicles, collectible card collections, business interests and stock holdings. According to the breakdown, Malena was awarded several major assets, including her home in Norway, her vehicle, portions of various investments, and half of multiple collectible card collections, while Nick retained control of several bank accounts, business equity, stock options, and other financial assets. The video also discusses claims raised during the divorce over alleged spending of community funds. According to the court filings reviewed in the video, Malena argued certain expenses, including travel, dining, and luxury purchases, should be considered waste of marital assets. However, the creator notes the court appeared to treat many of those expenses as business-related costs associated with content creation rather than personal misuse. One of the biggest talking points, though, was the legal bill itself. Henry Resilient estimated that the divorce ultimately resulted in roughly $359,000.
Pop up. When it came to the lawyer fees, pay attention to this payments, right? Pay attention to the payments. I created a spreadsheet where I basically tracked all of the payments to see how much in total was paid to Nick's lawyer. And here is Melena's lawyer. Her lawyer fees are like, oh my Lord, this, I'm at like 80,000. This makes me cry. This is a quarter. People don't live in the houses worth this much. All right. Now, when it comes to the total, this is the spreadsheet of everyone's legal fees. Now, my total and Melena's differ by about like 2,500. I'm not sure who's wrong. I used Excel to calculate mine, which brings their total to about $359,000. This is asinine on so many levels, but you have to wonder, right? When Nick said, I offered her half.
Many viewers couldn't believe the amount reportedly spent on attorneys, with numerous comments pointing out that the legal fees alone exceeded the price of many homes. Others described the entire divorce as a financial disaster, arguing that regardless of who ultimately received more assets, hundreds of thousands of dollars going toward legal expenses was difficult to comprehend. There was also discussion surrounding the asset split itself. Some viewers debated whether the final division appeared fair based on the public documents, while others cautioned that outsiders don't have access to every detail considered by the court and that the filings only tell part of the story. Hasan recently argued that the downfall of the old Poggers streaming community came from creators shifting away from genuine collaborations and instead chasing drama, clicks, and public call-outs. According to Hasan, the environment changed as creators became more interested in attacking each other than simply making content together. Those comments sparked a lot of discussion across the streaming community, and now xQc has weighed in with a very different perspective.
Like I said, we used to be fairly tight-knit. Like, everybody would hang out with one another. Everyone would collaborate with one another. Okay. We went from positive collaborations and, doing...
Chad, this is true, but also you can get also half blame. I say half blame because it's a two-man game. The overall, the militarization of the internet. What I mean by that is how much... you have to look a certain way, and you have to say these things, and if you don't do these things, everybody gets mad, and everybody does these things, and they do this fake wall of like, otherwise all of this is gonna go on to you. Otherwise you're gonna be, and everybody has this, everybody thought that there was a big cancellation gun that was pointing at them unless they were doing all that. So they had to portray themselves, and they had to collaborate with only those guys, whatever. And everybody was like kind of playing the parts for a gun that didn't exist. And I think that's what's the sad part. Is a lot of these guys, especially new streamers, newer ones these days, a lot of them don't realize that that gun doesn't really exist. And the more you give validity, the more real it is. And at one point, you have to face it.
Chat, how is everyone doing today?
Yeah, you have to test it
Don't
to see if it's
care
real or
and
not.
waiting for more.
People
Mr.
constantly
Stop
doing
the
drama
yapping,
with
no
one
one
another where they were calling each other out and shit.
For Gomba.
And that's what ruined the environment.
Yeah, wrong. Yeah, wrong.
Yeah,
sorry. On this part, he's wrong because chat, drama was always a thing. Drama was always a thing, but nobody gave a shit. At the end of the day, we had drama, chat. We would call each other out. We would make some. We would do some. We would say the outrageous shit about one another. Okay, and then the next day we're playing a game because that's how it is. We don't actually give a shit. We wouldn't go, oh, I cannot collab with this guy anymore because he is weird. And I mean, we just went next. I mean, in some of these lobbies, I hated half the players who were playing in Among Us. I was like, fuck these busters, they're trash, and I think they're cheating, they're busters, and I still play games with them. I didn't go blacklist this guy, blacklist that guy. People do that, and I mean, and I don't want to be rude and I don't want to do a big shots fired at Hasan, but Hasan is big in that. I mean, he loves that.
Following the clip, the community was once again split over who deserves the blame for the collapse of the old Twitch era. Some viewers agreed with xQc's overall point that the streaming scene became far more divided over time, but disagreed with putting the blame almost entirely on Hasan. They argued there were many factors that contributed to the downfall of the community, making it unfair to single out one person. Others strongly disagreed with xQc's criticism altogether, pointing the finger back at him instead. Many commenters argued that xQc himself played a major role in changing Twitch culture, citing events such as the gambling streaming era and claiming that those controversies had a much bigger impact on the platform than Hasan's interpersonal drama. Some also accused xQc of avoiding accountability by criticizing others while overlooking his own influence on the community. There were also viewers who rejected both Hasan's and xQc's explanations entirely, arguing the downfall wasn't caused by one creator or one specific issue. Instead, they felt the community naturally changed as streamers became larger businesses, audiences became more tribal, sponsorships became more important, and public controversies carried much greater consequences than they did years ago. Hirob has a bad hair day.
Bro, my hair, why does it look like this? It did not look like that yesterday, bruh. Bro, I swear to God, it did not look like that yesterday. It's got to be the lighting or something. What the f? Angelo's like while I'm sleeping.
Fan was in disbelief after seeing Ludwig in Road to Empress, trying to do a tongue twister in Chinese.
Tongue twister, yes.
会炖我的炖炖豆腐，赖炖我的炖炖豆腐，不会炖我的炖炖豆腐，猪别炖我的炖炖豆腐。
Sounds like he's saying tofu though. Like tofu is tofu. Listen.
赖炖我的炖炖豆腐，不会炖我的炖炖豆腐。
Don't know how to read. My dong dong tofu is what it sounds like he's saying.
我的炖炖豆腐，不会炖我的炖炖豆腐，猪别炖我的炖炖豆腐。 要是很生会炖我的炖炖豆腐，炖坏了我的炖炖豆腐，那就吃不成我的炖炖豆腐。
Wait, I think it is. I think he is saying tofu. I think they just translated it to a similar English tongue twister. 不错不错. Let me Google this, actually.
iShowSpeed started moaning to Kai Cenat over the phone after revealing his braids.
Okay, I don't want you to be honest, all right?
What?
Okay, I'm gonna show you, all right?
Let me see.
All right, be honest.
Let me see. Oh my. Oh.
What the fuck are you doing?
Oh God. Oh, sorry.
Rest in peace!